LA This Week.
Want to volunteer this summer? A new website will help determine the right one for you based on proximity, interests, and time available. It's launched by the mayor's office. I'm Gil Reyes with the story next.
I'm Anna Marcos. What will get Valley residents to dump the pump? Try the new Warner Center Shuttle. That's coming up.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, an opportunity for individuals with disabilities to show off their athletic skills.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. Well, it's official. A new police chief takes the reins at the LAPD. Chief Michael Moore, a 37-year veteran with the department, brings a wealth of experience to the role as top cop. Moore's already hit the ground running as he faces some tough challenges ahead. Gil Reyes takes us to his swearing-in ceremony.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And with that, Michael Moore is sworn in as the 57th chief of the LAPD. At Academy headquarters, Chief Moore addresses the tension between officers and communities of color and what needs to be done.
We must also learn to listen more if we're going to improve trust. I am committed to renewing relationships which, in some people's eyes, may have lessened with time.
Within the department, he promises to listen too, as he works to boost officer morale and diversity in an era of increased scrutiny of law enforcement.
This is a time for those who are interested in shaping the future of this department to step forward, to share your ideas, and I promise you, you will be heard.
Chief Moore has held nearly every top job within the department during his 36 years on the force. As head of the Valley Bureau, he championed community policing, reaching out to gang members to significantly lower crime numbers. Some of the reasons why Mayor Eric Garcetti selected him over several qualified candidates.
He's created greater transparency and accountability. He's worked with our immigrant community, our transgendered community. He's been at the cutting edge of making sure nobody is left behind, and yet he knows that those numbers can be better.
And we have to set an example for the rest of this country, and I believe that Chief Moore and LAPD has a big role to play in that.
The chief says he wants to make his family proud. His wife Cindy and daughter Haley here too.
On live TV, my big strong father get choked up saying, "Hope I make you proud," because it's not a moment that goes by that I'm not proud of him. And whether he won this thing or he lost, there was pride.
Chief Moore acknowledges there's still a lot of community policing left to do to secure the trust of communities of color, but we will get there. At the end of his 5-year term, he will be up for reconsideration by his bosses, the LA Police Commission. In Elysian Park, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Chief Michael Moore is taking over for Charlie Beck, who retired this month after nearly 9 years as police chief. City leaders honored Beck at a special event in City Council, and Marcos has the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for our chief, Chief Charlie Beck.
Call it the City Council's going away party for Chief Charlie Beck. After 40 years with the LAPD and 8 years as LA's top cop, Beck is stepping down. Councilmember Herb Wesson handed him a supersized resolution. And there were a few jokes, like a certain SWAT incident on one councilmember's block that required Chief Beck's personal intervention.
I got out of the shower and my doorbell rang and the heavy knocks on the door. And so I ran down the stairs naked. I opened the little peephole and there were officers with their guns drawn.
On a more serious note, Beck has seen the department through a lot of changes. The economic downturn, public anger over a national rise in officer-involved shootings, the Black Lives Matter movement, the Trump immigration controversy, and Beck's refusal to help federal immigration authorities. During Beck's time in office, there has also been a recent uptick in crime. Still, homicide rates remain at a record low.
The people behind me have given you 8 years in a row, and it's going to be 9 years in a row, of under 300 homicides a year in this city.
For some, working with Beck has brought a new vision of what community policing can be.
When I grew up, when we saw the police coming one way, we went the other way. If you were on your front porch and the police came down the street, you went in the house or in the backyard.
Working together, you've shown us what's possible in a city as diverse as ours.
At a time when immigration is one of the most talked about issues in the country and one of the ugliest and most polarized issues, your reasoned, compassionate perspective as a symbol of law and order meant a lot. It meant a whole lot to people in this city who were scared.
But this was more than just a farewell party. It was also a welcome party for Beck's successor, the LAPD's own homegrown, about-to-be chief, Michel Moore.
I'm really pleased that we chose a future captain who comes from the force and who really does have the contextual understanding of the history of the police because he's been in the force for so long.
Beck may be leaving to enjoy his retirement, but the farewell doesn't come without a little emotion.
I would never have left had I not known that I was leaving the department and this city in great hands.
Beck is retiring this month. I'm Anna Margos for LA This Week.
Many of Chief Beck's family members have dedicated their lives to law enforcement, including his father, his wife, 2 of his kids, and several relatives. Well, fireworks may look harmless, but they're more dangerous than they appear. In fact, people get hurt every year playing with fireworks. Officials say these injuries can easily be prevented. Rasha Goel has more on the do's and don'ts. Rasha.
Yana, I'm at Martin Luther King Jr. Recreation Center where kids are learning about fireworks and safety. The message here is very clear. Fireworks are illegal, and there are other options on how to enjoy them. This presentation is just one of the many being presented around the city by My Safe LA, a nonprofit organization that promotes fire and life safety. The goal is to teach kids and adults about how dangerous fireworks can be.
A simple sparkler burns at 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, to put that into perspective, water will boil at 212 degrees. You bake a cake at 350 degrees. If you put wood in your fireplace, 575 degrees, that'll burn. And glass will actually melt at 900 degrees. So now this is burning at 1,200 degrees, and people hand that to children.
Not only can fireworks cause serious injuries, but they also can get you in trouble with the law.
Anyone who is in possession of, you don't have to be firing them off, but simply in possession of fireworks is liable to be fined up to $1,000. And if there's any other complications, for example, in the state of California, allowing anyone under the age of 16 to handle fireworks, that's also illegal.
Officials say fireworks cause an average of almost 18,000 reported fires per year. And for many residents, it's become a quality of life issue.
It's not just on the 4th of July. It starts in June, and it sometimes goes for the rest of the summer, where people are exploding what are basically bombs throughout the night, and it's just people are fed up with it.
You have veterans that have PTSD that really are affected by these constant explosions in their neighborhood. You have pets that have very sensitive hearing that are terrified. You have babies that are very scared from it. Some of the elderly, we have them even say, we can't turn off the noise. They don't know how to turn off the noise. And so we also see homes that catch fire and vehicles that catch fire.
One thing is for sure, these kids are hearing the message loud and clear. What is the one message that you're going to go home and share with your family today?
I want to let them know that we're still going to be safe as long as we don't mess with fireworks.
Remember, all fireworks are illegal in Los Angeles. Celebrate safely by following the rules. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Fire officials say it's best to leave it to the professionals. For a listing of fireworks shows, visit LAFD.org or mysafela.org. Well, some volunteers want to help children. Others want to save the environment. Whatever your passion, a new web portal launched by the mayor's office will help you find it. Gil Reyes has more from the Getty House. Gil.
Well, Yana, here it is, summer vacation. A lot of young people with little or nothing to do. Why not volunteer? If not for other people, then do it for yourself. You'll feel better. And now there's a new app that makes it easier. Over at the mayor's house, this group has found their perfect volunteer opportunity. They're writing letters of encouragement to students of School on Wheels tutoring program for homeless kids, a service they're passionate about. But for others, finding the right program to dedicate their time may be hard to do.
So we're launching this new portal, this new website, Volunteer LA, that will help people connect with the type of volunteering they like to do, somewhere close to where they live or work, in the issue that means a lot to them.
Mayor Eric Garcetti and his wife, Amy Elaine Wakeland, are calling on Angelenos to check out the Volunteer LA portal. It hooks you up to nonprofits benefiting students, homeless individuals, the environment, and so much more, as well as municipal agencies from the LA Zoo to city and county libraries.
People can do things out of their own home. They can do things by themselves independently. They can do it with other people if that's what they like. Indoors, outdoors, active, not as active. I mean, we have all these options and filters now. So you can say where you live, what you're passionate about, and we'll find you something you can do.
The Garcettis made the announcement at their home, Getty House, where they welcomed hundreds of volunteers who volunteer because it makes them feel good.
A lot of you, I think, are probably very active. This is a tool for you to be able to do outreach with fellow congregants at your houses of worship and with your neighbors about how they too can get involved.
Get started by checking out the website at volunteer.lamayor.org. I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The mayor's office has also launched its Office of Volunteer Engagement to inspire citizen engagement and improve communities. The LA Department of Water and Power officials are looking to kids to help solve the problem of water conservation and create a brighter, greener future for all Angelenos. Anna Marcos joins us to tell us what the Bucket Brigade is all about. Anna.
Yana, these kids at Walter Reed Middle School are part of the Bucket Brigade, and city leaders hope they change the future of water conservation. It all starts with a bucket. It may just be a drop in the bucket, but that drop, when there's many buckets, can sure add up.
Why waste it when you could use it for something else?
If everybody saves a bucket or two of water a day, whether you're warming up the water in the shower or the dishes or something in the sink, all that adds up.
As part of the Bucket Brigade, these kids will be taking their buckets home. It's a joint effort by LADWP, city leaders, and the LA Unified School District to get students to teach their parents and each other about water conservation and to practice it every day. So what will they do with their buckets?
For me, I definitely do wait for the shower to warm up, and so that water that's going down the drain, I'm probably going to use this bucket, and me and my dad do like to grow tomato plants, so we're probably going to use this water to water our plants.
I'm going to put it under my sink when I'm brushing my teeth.
My family, we already save a lot of water at home. We have a leaky bathtub, and we already have a bunch of buckets underneath there. I think we're going to add one more bucket there.
I could use it again for a car wash.
The budding environmentalists are part of the school's Environmental Science Academy, which teaches water and energy conservation. Recently, the kids won a $60,000 grand prize in the Save the Drop Drought Awareness Contest.
They love telling their parents, turn the faucet off, let's use a bucket to wash our dishes, take a shorter shower. Our parents will tell us that their kids are letting them know.
The LA Unified School District itself has partnered with the Department of Water and Power, saving almost 1 billion gallons of water in the last few years by installing smart irrigation systems and using recycled water. And apparently even city leaders are getting into the conservation habit.
I already use a bucket. I use a bucket bigger than this, actually. The amount of clean drinking water that would otherwise go down the drain as you're waiting for water to heat up, for example, in the shower or when I'm getting ready to shave or whatever, is all water that can be used. And every morning I do that.
So if you feel your own conservation kick coming on, just grab a bucket and start saving. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Bucket Brigade buckets are available to any neighborhood councils that want to hand them out to students in their schools. For more information, call the LADWP at 213-367-1361. Well, there's a new kid on the block when it comes to Valley public transportation, and it just might get Valley residents out of their cars. Anna Marcos fills us in on the new Warner Center shuttle.
The Valley has a new anti-traffic weapon, and city leaders are hopping on for the maiden voyage, hoping it will be another reason for Valley drivers to dump the pump, the gas pump that is. And what's not to like about the new Warner Center Shuttle? It helps beat the traffic blues. It operates 24 hours a day, and it comes every 10 minutes.
It will be much easier to directly access more Warner Center jobs, shopping, dining, and entertainment venues with this shuttle service.
The shuttle service will connect riders to some of the biggest economic hubs in the Warner Center area, including the Warner Center Corporate Park, Westfield Topanga, the New Village, and Kaiser Permanente. It will also provide better connections to the Orange Line. Many say it's the beginning of a whole new revitalization in this part of the Valley.
It's all about this vision of live, work, and play. That's the vision of growing the density in the Warner Center to protect the single-family homes, but to create this environment of live, work, and play. But you can't do that if you don't have things like this shuttle.
You can't miss it. You'll be able to recognize the Warner Center Shuttle by its colorful motif and its wraparound buses.
San Fernando Valley, which always had a reputation as being, single-family home, very car-centric. The truth of the matter was that if you provided high-quality transit, people in the valley will use it. And the Orange Line showed that.
And there's more changes in store. The Orange Line will now also run 24 hours a day, every 10 minutes. Other bus lines are also getting improved, and plans are still revving up to electrify the Orange Line by 2020. Just some of the changes keeping the Valley on the move without the traffic congestion. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Valley business leaders say the opening of the Orange Line in 2005 has led to economic growth in the Valley, and they hope the trend continues. It's a competition that builds confidence and self-esteem, and with LA hosting the 2028 Paralympics, there may be some athletes in the making. Rasha Goel has more.
A lot of people just think, oh, they're in wheelchairs, you baby a person in a wheelchair, you feel bad for them, but we can do a lot of things, and this is very competitive, the higher levels.
Danny Maravilla from Compton is among the many who's participating at the 4th Annual Angel City Games, Southern California's premier adaptive sports competition. A professional basketball player in France, he's here to give back and compete. Sports has given him a way to connect with others.
Basketball has given me the opportunity to interact with friends and talk about sports, not just, because it's very hard to relate to people.
The competition is open to people of all ages. Basically, athletes get a chance to train and compete over the 4-day event held at UCLA. It gives individuals a chance to meet others with disabilities while exploring their athletic interests and abilities.
We do clinics and competitions in track and field, swimming, archery, wheelchair tennis, and wheelchair basketball. It's because you're socially isolated and tend to be that only kid or adult at your company with a disability. You come here, and this is a place where you belong. This is your community, right? People that maybe don't have exactly your experience, but a very similar experience. And so that's really helpful to sort of gather the self-confidence and the courage to go attack the world that isn't always that accepting.
What's exciting about the Angel City Games is it's not only open to Angelinos, but people from all across the United States come to participate. And this year, there are 30 Paralympian coaches that have come to help out with the clinics. 11-year-old Elizabeth Keene, who came from Oregon, is participating for the second time in track and field.
I enjoy the most because I get to compete with my friends and meet other people.
It's important for us because she gets to go out and compete. She gets to go out and get physical exercise. She also gets to go out and work really hard with what she does.
Brent Poppin, Paralympian in wheelchair tennis and wheelchair rugby, is helping coach at the clinics. He says it's a great place for parents to see how interested their kids are in the sports, as many of the mobility aids can be quite costly to purchase.
The tennis chairs could be between $3,000 to $5,000. The racing chairs are in that same ballpark. So sometimes it's hard for a parent to justify spending that money when they don't know if their kid's going to really love that sport. So when they get in games like this, which is a unique place, they get to try everything without spending that money. And then go, you know, my kid really loved, he hasn't stopped talking about tennis in 2 weeks or 2 months, so we're going to buy him a chair.
Truly an inspiration to see these individuals turn their disability into their strength. At UCLA, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Angel City Games is open to all athletes from the U.S. and abroad of all skill levels who have physical or visual impairments. The event was co-sponsored by the city's Department on Disability. Next to Dodger Stadium is a somewhat forgotten military memorial. Established just after World War I, it's slowly being restored to its former glory. And as Gil Reyes reports, with Old Glory flying high once again.
A section of Elysian Park dedicated to World War I veterans takes another big step towards restoration. After several years broken, the flagpole at Victory Memorial Grove is finally fixed. The grove, located west of Dodger Stadium, had fallen into disrepair.
Stones and markers and masonry that once was here had been vandalized or neglected over the last several decades. So there's a concentrated effort to renovate and reestablish this.
Councilman Mitch O'Farrell and others at the flagpole dedication can't remember the last time the Stars and Stripes flew high here. The repair was made in time for Flag Day, with help from fundraising, volunteers, and the Department of Recreation and Parks. Last year, the nearby Victory Grove Memorial Monument with names of World War I veterans was also refurbished. Cortland Gindra from the World War I Centennial Task Force and his girlfriend have pushed for restorations over the past 2.5 years.
Technically, probably our first date was trying to find this place. We drove all around Elysian Park, and we finally found it, and we, walked up to the hill and found the monument up top. So then it became kind of a passion project for us to try to restore the park.
Next up, restoring the Victory Grove Memorial Garden. Replanting is expected to take place this fall. In Elysian Park, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The Citizens Committee to Save Elysian Park, American Legion Post 43, and the Daughters of the American Revolution also helped with restorations. The mayor launches a new program to repair city streets. Councilmember Jose Huizar kicks off a new community event, and the world's largest swim lesson teaches kids how to stay safe in the water. All these stories in Citybeat. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti launched Complete Streets, a first-of-its-kind program to repair streets and install safety measures across Los Angeles. The first of 6 projects will begin on a 2-mile stretch of Roscoe Boulevard from Woodman Avenue to the 405 freeway in Van Nuys. Council District 14 and Councilmember Jose Huizar kicked off their first Food Truck Tuesday at Graham Park with lots of unique eats, picnic tables, and 80s music. Huizar said the plan is to put on the event every month in an effort to bring the community together.
People congregate, get to know one another, enjoy some good food, and as a great Anthony Bourdain would say, is that a great way to get to know a person is over a meal. So that's what we're doing here.
Everyone's welcome, and here's to food trucks.
Kids had fun learning how to swim at the Hansen Dam Aquatic Center recently as the Department of Rec and Parks hosted the world's largest swim lesson. It was a promotional event designed to build awareness and generate local and national press attention about the vital importance of teaching youth swimming skills to prevent drowning. To date, 27 countries have joined this initiative. It's Bohemian Rhapsody in North Hollywood with free live music under the stars. Rock on with neighbors, friends, and new friends at NoHo Summer Nights. Gil Reyes has a preview.
We will rock you. Saturdays. On this night, it's Queen tribute band Queen Nation. NoHo Summer Nights are back.
It's a wonderful evening. It's fun. It's enjoyable. And, what better way to spend an evening than under the stars listening to good music? Somebody find me. Somebody know one.
The Saturday night concerts take place at North Hollywood Park till August 4th. They're sponsored by the Valley Cultural Center and Councilman Paul Krikorian.
This gives people an opportunity to hear some great music and to enjoy a free concert, but it also gives them an opportunity to come together with their neighbors, meet people that they might not have otherwise met, and bring an activity level and an energy level to the park and to the neighborhood that we wouldn't have without this series.
Sure, yeah, we have this park space. Why not make use of it with events like this?
Down beside your red firelight, are you gonna let it all hang out? Flat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round.
We'll see you Saturday. The show starts at 7 p.m. at North Hollywood Park. I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Coming soon, an Elvis tribute band on July 14th. Also, another group covering rock legend Santana on August 4th. Check out the Saturday night lineup at paulkrikorian.org. Well, spice up your weekend during a salsa festival. Latin jazz takes center stage in North Hollywood, and enjoy classic Shakespeare by the Sea. All this in this week's Things to Do. The Salsa Festival is coming to Pershing Square in downtown LA this summer. Spend the weekend living it up with your friends and family in a fun, cultural event. You'll find tons of delicious salsas to sample in the Salsa Tasting Tent, along with local food vendors offering up their best selections throughout the festival. Live music, dancing, and delicious food makes the Salsa Fest the perfect place to spend a summer afternoon. Spice up your weekend on July 7th and 8th at Pershing Square. Playing lively Afro-Cuban salsa and Latin jazz, electric violinist and vocalist Susie Hansen has been a favorite in LA for 25 years. This band is truly a crowd pleaser with its rhythmic energy and drive. See them live during NoHo Summer Nights on Saturday, July 7th at North Hollywood Recreation Park. If you're looking for quality family entertainment, Shakespeare by the Sea's free performances can't be beat. Pack a picnic, a blanket, and beach chair, gather loved ones, and settle in under the stars for a night of classic entertainment. The tales are timeless, the admission ticketless, and the experience priceless. Shakespeare by the Sea's The Winter's Tale takes place on Saturday, July 7th. For more, visit shakespearebythesea.org. And that's a look at some things to do. That's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane from all of us here at LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.